mean, we were obviously, thrilled with the margin of victory, and that it came from all corners of the district. From Simsbury to Salisbury to Danbury to Meriden. We had tremendous turnout and big, healthy margins. I clearly think that the enthusiasm for Obama had something to do with it. But we spent 2 years working our tails off to try to connect this office to the people of the district, and I think that people responded to our outreach efforts, whether it was holding our office hours at supermarkets rather than town halls, or making door knocking a technique of getting constituent input rather than getting votes. I think that we've connected people to their congressman in a way that they haven't seen in a while.
There's been a lot of talk about the youth really getting involved in this election this time around. Is that something that you're excited about? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the last 2 years in high schools and middle schools, and I'm so excited to see that it's cool for kids to be involved and talk about politics for the first time in my lifetime. And I have not seen the numbers here in this district yet as to youth turnout across the country. It seems that there was a real surge, and my hope is that this is, like many of the baby boom generation, look at 1960 as the year that they had their faith in politics restored. I think that 2008 will be the year that rescues this young generation from the brink of losing faith in politics.
There's a lot of high expectations, obviously, going in now after the election. Your thoughts on that? I mean, is it going to be difficult to meet those expectations?
Well, I think that the high expectations are going to be a challenge. People are not expecting the Obama administration to just be better than the Bush administration. They're expecting a real effort to heal this country, and I think that whether we're talking about economic reform, health care reform, or energy reform, maybe the most important thing for Obama to do is make it bipartisan reform, and that won't be easy. I mean, because there still are major policy gaps between the right and the left, and Republicans and Democrats. But if there's anyone that can bring them together, it's Barack Obama.
Speaking about another race that happened in Connecticut, what do you think about the significance of Jim Himes winning over Chris Shays?
Well, I mean, as people get to know Jim Himes, they're going to love him. I mean, this is just an incredibly down-to-earth guy who's going to do a great job for that district. Chris Shays, served incredibly honorably for a very long time, and he often was, running against the tide in Washington. But when it came down to it, there were too many instances in which, he and the Bush administration were on the same side, and I think people wanted a different direction. So I can't wait to serve with Jim. He's going to do a great job for the 4th District.
Okay, one more fast thing about Barack Obama's win. What did you think about the celebrations in the streets and the out support? What was your thoughts on that?
Well, I really was, so glad to see that the entire world was celebrating Barack Obama's victory. We've got a tremendous amount of work to do here in this country, but we've got to have people's faith in America restored around the world. And the fact that just a simple election can make people around the world start to believe in America again is a great start.